We think we're live. We're going to just give it a quick try.
Hello.
Says on the screen we are. I'm just going to check it on my pad. Welcome everybody, whoever's there. I don't think we've got anybody in at the moment, but you never know. There should be somebody turning up soon. So we'll have a quick look on subscriptions and Old Hiking Geezer is live. Yes, and we're actually in the right orientation. We didn't make a mess of it. Well, hello everybody and welcome. Oh, excuse me a second. Let me stretch and get me coffee.
And show you a new hat.
Oh yeah, and show my new hat off. Well, this is my new advertising thing. As I said on Facebook, I can't afford a sandwich board, so this will have to do. We're not in. Don't worry, we're not into selling merchandise yet. This is purely a one-off for me. Well, hope everybody's okay. Firstly, why so long since we had our last video up? Well, we've got a visitor. I think we told you about this already, but we've got a visitor. It's David, the Wandering Irishman. Great friend of the channel, and he's come to stay with us for a while. He's been travelling in Portugal and Spain before that. Then he's come back to Ireland to sort out a few things, and we offered him a place, and luckily he took us up on it. So I've got somebody to chat to about the boring stuff that Gabby doesn't like. Man stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
So with David here, it gives us the opportunity to get out and about a bit more. We've already been out a couple of times to Slishwood to his shelter, which you probably saw my video on staying a night under the shelter, and another video prior to that actually just trying to find it, which was a bit of an adventure. Those two videos didn't actually garner too many viewers for some strange reason. It was, let me take my glass off, I can't see what I'm doing. That's better. It was a rather uneventful camping trip. I didn't even have a tent. I just slung a sleeping bag under the shelter and had a kip in that. And the wood was so quiet, it was unbelievable. I didn't even hear a bird after about 11 o'clock at night when the cuckoo stopped singing. Anyway, we have been investing in new equipment. Up until now, as you're probably aware, I love my drone flying, but I've been using this thing, which is called a Mini 3. Well, it's small for a drone, but you have to use it with that, which is quite big. So that's a lot to carry around when you're hiking and backpacking. So although it hasn't got the same resolution, I've invested in this little fella, which is the new DJI Neo. You can use it with a controller. In fact, it came with a controller. You can use it using your mobile phone. Doesn't have quite the range on that. You can use it with, believe it or not, voice activation as well. Or, and I'm not going to do it, but you can pop it on your palm like that, choose which modes you want, and there's various modes like follow mode, spotlight mode, rocket, circle, directional, following, everything. And you just press that, hold it on your hand, and it whizzes up in the air. And when you want to land it, you just stop still, hold your hand out, and it comes back down onto your hand. And what an incredible bit of kit. I've taken it out a few times. Don't think I've put any video up yet that I've taken it.
What was that in the forest with David in the new video? Was
No,
that the other one?
That was using the other drone. That was the day I bought this.
Okay.
So in the new video, you'll see a shot of me landing the drone. About half an hour after that, we were down at the shops buying the new one. So I couldn't be using the new drone then because I hadn't actually got it by that time. Anyway, what a week for weather, eh? You can't say much about it really, can you, apart from the fact that what was it going to do? It was pouring with rain, it was snowing, we had snow settle, then it's come back to rain again, and last night it absolutely hammered down here. I don't know how you had it. Anybody in the chat yet? Can't see anybody. Oh yes, there's one person in the chat. Hello, didn't see you there, sorry. if you, why don't you just say hello on the chat, and we can find out who it is. Anyway, back to the weather. Today, virtually all the snow's gone, which has upset me because I love snow and wanted to get my camera out and do some photography, especially over the local forest trail. But that's not going to happen. Well,
Oh, it will come back, I'm sure.
it's going to happen. We're going to get over the forest trail. It just won't be in snow.
There will be more snow, I'm sure.
I hope there will be.
And I mean, last night we had some frightening sounds, but probably
Oh
snow
yeah,
sliding down a roof somewhere.
last night I got woken up by what I thought was heavy thunder. Now where we live, it's between two farms, and one of the farms has got two big barns, and I heard this big rumble and then the clash of metal. Well, first of all, I thought thunder, but not with metal. So looked out the window, pitch black, couldn't see a thing. Thought, oh well, never mind, try to get back to sleep. But the trouble is, it had woken me up so much that I couldn't get back to sleep. So there I am, laying in bed, cat on my chest, another one on my leg, trying to get to sleep. And about, what was it, about an hour later?
Half an hour.
Half an hour to an hour later, I didn't check the time, there was another almighty great crash outside, and it was like an explosion. But didn't rock the house, didn't feel anything, just heard it. No flash of lights. And what we put it down to is that the snow had gone off, slid down one side of the roof of the barn and hit and landed on some of the farm equipment. And then half an hour later, slid down the other side, and this time landed on the ground. Anyway, by that time, I was totally awake, and I couldn't get to sleep anymore after that. Oh, two people in the feed now. Hello. And we got one like. Hey, thank you. Anyway, 4 o'clock in the morning, I'm thinking to myself, I can't stay here like this. I'm just gonna sit here in the dark. I'm gonna get bored to tears. So I got up and finished the editing. So I was at 4 o'clock this morning. I had my iPad open, my editing package up, and putting the finishing touches to our latest video, which I don't know if you've seen it, has already gone live. Has it?
No.
No, it hasn't. It's going live later at 8 o'clock. Sorry. Anyway, we've got a bit of a problem with this video in the fact that it's not such a high quality one. And the reason for that is that we work with, our internet comes through a company called Imagine. If you're in Ireland, you may know about it, but if not, a quick explanation. We don't have fibre here. Fibre stops 2 kilometres in one direction and 1.5 kilometres in the other. So we're in a dead spot. The only way we can get broadband is over 4G. And we started to use a company called Imagine. And that's going back 2 years ago now. And for the first year and a half, they were fantastic. Couldn't fault them. And then the quality of the service started to drop. We found we were buffering, the speeds went right down. We couldn't put more than 1 or 2 pieces of equipment on without it crashing the whole system. The modem or stroke router had to be reset 3 or 4 times a day. But every time I phoned them up and complained about it, somehow there was nothing wrong with it. No, that was wrong. I was told that I needed to phone back when the system was down. I tried to explain to them that I use an internet phone because we don't have a mobile signal here, and they just didn't want to know. No, you still got to phone back when it's down, which we couldn't do, obviously. But I looked into, the other day, I looked into Starlink. Starlink, yeah. And I put an order in for that. So I phoned them up at Imagine and asked them how I go about cancelling. Well, the previous day, I had, or a few days before, I'd increased the amount of data I buy off of them from 600 to 1 terabyte. Didn't say anywhere when I did it. I did it quickly because I ran out of data, but it didn't say anywhere on this main screen that you were entering into a new contract. Well, luckily there was a calling off period, and that ended yesterday. So I've had an argument with them, and they've agreed to extend the calling off period until the Starlink arrives, and I get that set up. I can decide whether I want to stay with them or go with Starlink, who will give me a complete refund if I'm not happy. Personally, I think I'm going to be going with Starlink, and it'll improve everything because Starlink has a much faster network. They don't have a contract, and they're actually slightly cheaper per month than what I'm paying at the moment. The initial outlay is a lot higher, but in the long run, it'll pay for itself. The only thing we do lose is our landline, but I can live with that. Don't mind being off grid. Anyway, so hopefully once we get the next couple of videos up, we should be able to get a much higher quality, because I had to drop the quality to fit it into the bandwidth that we've got, so it didn't take what it originally said was 23 hours to upload a video. Anyway, that's the internet. The new video, well, it's the second installment of the 3 that we're doing on 75 facts about Ireland. And the facts from our point of view as Blow-ins, the Irish name for somebody who's just come into the country or into an area, even for that matter. They're quite light-hearted. They're not travel videos as such. There's no tourist hotspots involved or anything like that. And we've got one more to do in the series, so which will be our next video. What we like is, and there's 3 people in the having a watch now. Hi everybody. What we'd actually like is everybody to start telling us what they want us to do. We've not run out of ideas or anything. We've got plenty of ideas as to what we can do, haven't we, love?
Yeah.
But we want to make sure that what you want, we can go all day doing what we want, but that's not going to help you. You tell us what you want and we'll do it, within reason, obviously. We've also, and please don't feel pressurised by this, we're not pressurising anybody. We are funding all of this out of our own pocket at the moment, but we have got Patreon and Buy Me a Coffee now. So if anybody ever feels like contributing, you know, we thank you very much for it, but please don't feel pressurised. Anyway, future videos. I want to get out a bit with David and do a couple of videos. If you don't know his channel, he's The Wandering Irishman. And we might do two videos of the same thing from a different angle. His angle, which is a completely different way of doing things to mine. And hopefully we'll be able to drag Gabby along, because we've got to have somebody to make the coffee after all. Wait. Now, Gabby's actually, let's just turn that down because it seems to have tipped a little bit. That's better. Now you can see my lovely wife. I'll say hello. There you are. Anyway, we're looking at doing a few more camping videos, but we want to get down to places like Galway, up to Donegal, probably some bits in Roscommon, just sort of spreading our wings a little bit and getting out to see other towns. If there's anywhere you'd like us to visit, if you know anywhere that, so even your own town, let us put our own twist on your hometown if you're fairly close to us. It would be nice. Obviously, we are going to start off with doing a big thing about Tubbercurry again, because we only scratched the surface. Again, with the last video, we're going to start producing that tomorrow, the last one in the 3 of the series. If there's anything that you, excuse me a second, that's better. If there's anything that you want, then just put something in comments, and on this video or on the second video of the series, and we'll see what we can do to accommodate you. Anyway, we're coming up on the 15 minutes, which is what I plan to be talking for. Gabby hasn't managed to get a word in edgeways, because get me in front of a microphone and I don't stop. Well, that comes from my old days of being a DJ. But there we go. Right. So thank you very much, everybody. Hope to see you all again soon. We'll go live a bit more often in future, I think. Anyway, there we go. From Gabby, Mrs. Old Hiking
Bye.
Geezer, and me, Old Hiking Geezer.
Thank
Bye,
you.
and onwards and upwards.